Disney Modern Age Showdown. What is the best Disney movie from 2009 to now? This article has been written by Carrie Fishbane. If you were like me growing up, you had to see a Disney movie the second it came out. If you're like me now, you have to see a Disney movie the second it comes out. Only now, you do so wearing Mickey ears and a goofy shirt to embarrass your teenage sister. We are currently living in a great time for Disney movies. Disney movies are broken up by Disney historians, people who have the best job in the world, into 4 different major eras of filmmaking. The Golden Age, which starts with Snow White in 1937 to The Aristocats in 1970. The Dark Age, which starts with Robin Hood in 1973 to The Great Mouse Detective in 1986. The Renaissance, which starts with The Little Mermaid in 1989 to Tarzan in 1999. And finally, the Modern Age, also known as the Second Renaissance. The Modern Age of Disney is defined differently by different historians, but I consider it to have started with The Princess and the Frog in 2009, and it continues on today. It is my personal favorite era of Disney movies. Every Disney era has its tropes and traits that define it. Normally, in order to be a Disney princess, you need to meet a few qualifications. You need to wish upon stars, you need to be sweet and in most cases naive, and you need to be able to hit a high F. I'm still working on my article about Disney's discrimination against altos. The Modern Age flips all these tropes on their head and instead introduces us to the princesses with diverse backgrounds who are all badasses in their own unique ways. The Modern Age is also defined by sensitivity to the cultures the movies present. Power ballads, usually sung by the female lead, and frowning upon the more traditional Disney romances we saw in eras past. But the question remains, which modern age movie reigns supreme? To answer this question, I will be looking at the 4 fairy tale-based Disney movies that have come out since 2009. The Princess and the Frog in 2009, Tangled in 2010, Frozen in 2013, and Moana in 2016. I will be avoiding Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars and other Disney properties because then this article would be the length of a novel. I will also not be including shorts or sequels for simplification purposes. There will be 4 grading criteria. I will examine these movies through the lens of 1. Music, 2. Visual aesthetics, 3. Is this princess someone little girls should look up to? 4. Are the animals in the movie someone my pet should look up to? I mean, how awesome are the animal sidekicks? Remember, this judgment is my personal opinion. There's no need to get too worked up about it. This is just from the perspective of one Disney fan. Let's start with a rundown of the competing movies. Princess and the Frog is loosely based on the classic fairy tale of the same name. It takes place in 1920s New Orleans and is about a young black woman who dreams of owning her own restaurant. Her plans are derailed when she kisses a frog and turns into one and must go on a journey to become human again. Notable features: Disney's first black princess, first definitively American set movie, final Disney movie with 2D animation. The next one, Tangled, is loosely based on the fairy tale Rapunzel. Its setting is undefined. It is about a young woman who is freed from her imprisonment in a tower by an outlaw named Flynn Rider and goes on a journey to see the floating lanterns that appear on her birthday every year. Notable features: spent 14 years in development, first non-Pixar Disney movie with 3D animation. The next one, Frozen, is very loosely based on the fairy tale The Snow Queen. It takes place in the fictional land of Arendelle, presumably in the Nordic region. It is about a new coronated queen who desperately tries to hide her ice powers and isolates herself from the kingdom. Her younger sister tries to bring her back. Notable features: Frozen and its sequel are some of the highest grossing animated films of all time. Oscar wins Best Animated Feature and Best Song for Let It Go. The next one, Moana, is an original story. It takes place in Polynesia. It follows the story of the daughter of a tribal chief who goes on an adventure to save her people. Notable features: first Polynesian princess. Oscar wins Best Animated Feature. Round 1, Music. Which song is the most epic of the modern age? I know I need to tread lightly when I say the best Disney music. Disney is a powerhouse when it comes to producing great music. Disney music has taken home the Oscar for Best Song 14 times. But I would argue that the music in the modern age includes some of the best Disney songs to date. I know the Renaissance had some incredibly beautiful music. Can you feel the love? A Whole New World. Beauty and the Beast, etc. But the modern age was defined by a different type of music. For brevity's sake, I will only be looking at the most memorable song in each movie, which are all coincidentally sang by the princesses. Okay, one queen and one daughter of a tribal leader are in the mix. At the moment, she and the audience sees her unfulfilled potential. Huh? There might be a trend in these movies. The songs I'll be considering are Almost There in Princess and the Frog, When Will My Life Begin in Tangled, Let It Go in Frozen, How Far I'll Go in Moana. Almost There is notably the one jazz song on the list, probably because it sang in the height of the jazz age as its epicenter. It's a very dance-worthy song if you're into Charleston and all those fun 1920s dance moves, which obviously everyone breaks out in the clubs. But it doesn't fit with our times. Though the message of self-empowerment and hard work is timeless, kids in the theatre, unfortunately, won't connect with jazz as much as they would with some of the other songs on the list. When Will My Life Begin is just an all-round fun song. I've been known to belt it out in the shower. It's definitely more in touch with modern times, but it's probably the least memorable of the memorable songs on the list. How Far I'll Go is a fantastic ballad and another contender for my favorite Disney sing in the shower song. But it's been called a rip-off of our number one song. Yes, Let It Go is overplayed, but remember, that first time you heard it in a theatre, I have friends who said at that moment they heard it for the first time, they immediately knew how special it was. Its lyrics are poetic, the music is rousing. Round 1, Frozen wins. Round 2, Girl Power. Should little girls look up to the female protagonist? Disney feminism started in the Renaissance with Mulan and Beauty and the Beast, but it was truly solidified in the modern age. Princesses in the modern age are strong, funny, and can do things for themselves. And as opposed to Mulan and Belle, they are all self-motivated. Mulan only joined the army because her father was sick, and Belle only went to Beast's castle to save her dad as well. They just stumbled upon their dreams along the way. In contrast, Tiana went on her adventure to fulfill her dream of owning a restaurant. Rapunzel left her tower to fulfill her dream of seeing the lanterns on her birthday. And Moana set sail to fulfill her dream of adventure. The difference here is that for some reason it wasn't okay in the past for Disney girls to have their own dreams. Their dreams were determined after they committed selfless acts, or it's just defined, and in Princess Jasmine's case, have the ability to stay with the right man. Like all the best companies, Disney evolved with the times, and now it understands that girls have dreams of their own. Frozen is very special in its own way, because it's the first Disney movie in which two women get along and work together to accomplish a goal. Think back. Can you name another Disney movie with two human women friends who love each other throughout the movie? The only other movie this is seen in is The Princess and the Frog, which is going to win here because Tiana is self-motivated, does everything on her own, and she has a positive relationship with her best friend Charlotte. The Princess and the Frog checks off all the feminist boxes. Plus, magic only serves as a setback to her achieving her goal. Other Disney movies have insisted that magic will save the day. Moana wouldn't have gone on her adventure if she didn't have water power supporting her. And in Tangled, Rapunzel wouldn't have had the courage to leave her tower without Flynn Rider. Ultimately, Disney's first modern age princess, Tiana, is clearly the strongest role model for little girls. Round 2, The Princess and the Frog wins. Round 3, Visual Aesthetics. which movie blows the audience away visually. One thing that sets the modern age apart is the diversity of settings. Most Disney movies of yesteryear took place in a forest or jungle or some far-off kingdom. This leads to a lot of movies that look similar. The modern age movies take place in a variety of different settings, which lead to a more diverse aesthetic. Also, all modern age movies since Tangled have used 3D animation. This leads to a more bubbly and modern aesthetic. The one modern age movie that didn't have this was The Princess and the Frog. Though it doesn't have the realism granted to 3D animated movies, The Princess and the Frog has some utterly beautiful frames. Just look at the animation in the songs, Gonna Take You There, and dig a little deeper. The Princess and the Frog is up there with Mulan and Atlantis in terms of stunning visual effects. But is it as good as the other modern age movies? Tangled has an aesthetic that screams adventure, which is very fitting for its plot. But the setting of Tangled is reminiscent of the aforementioned Disney movies, which is a bit tired at this point, even if 3D animated. Frozen has an epic appearance fitting of an epic tale. The wintry setting gives way to some amazing visuals, such as in Let It Go, and Moana has beautiful aquatic imagery. It doesn't sound like much, but the water effects in Moana were revolutionary. Remember how it blew your mind when baby Moana stepped into the fold the water had created for her to retrieve a seashell? Absolutely beautiful. It's really a toss of the coin on this one that depends on your preference in aesthetics. Round 3. Well, this is a 3-way tie between The Princess and the Frog, Frozen and Moana. Round 4. Animal sidekicks whose pet makes the best adventure companion. Animal sidekicks are the hallmark of any great Disney movie. Where would Ariel be without Flounder? And Cinderella would be far worse without the adorable Jack and Gus. Tiana has the firefly, Ray, and the trumpet-playing crocodile, Louis. Rapunzel has a chameleon, Pascal. Anna and Elsa have the snowman, Olaf, and Kristoff has the reindeer, Sven. And Moana has Sai, the rooster, Hey Hey. I'm just gonna kick Hey Hey off immediately. He's annoying. He doesn't seem to be there for any discernible reason, and he's really the worst part of the whole movie. Moana's pig Pua is far cuter than Hey Hey, and don't even get me started on how much better a sidekick he would have been. But alas, Pua was barely in the movie, and Hey Hey took the spotlight. Now that we've got my unbridled rage at an animated rooster out of the way, let's talk about the good animal sidekicks. Just the words, a trumpet-playing crocodile should bring a smile to your face, unless you are devoid of a soul, in which case you probably think Hey Hey deserves to win. And Louis' personality makes him even better. He's adorably naive and he has some of the funniest dialogue in the whole movie. He's balanced out by Ray, who is a wise firefly who is in love with a star, which he affectionately named Evangeline. His storyline leading up to his eventual union with Evangeline is one of the sweetest in any Disney movie. Pascal, the chameleon, is just a living ball of sass. He is sassy despite not having any dialogue, and at times more clever than his human counterparts. He provides some great physical comedy and is drop-dead adorable. Olaf is naive and adorable. He's obsessed with the idea of summer and of course, warm hugs. Sven is another non-dialogue character who is incredibly loyal and who has stuck with Kristoff since Kristoff was a kid and Sven was a mooseling. At least that's how Assume once says baby moose. All of these characters are fantastic and lovable and twice their animals. Hey Hey will ever be. Ultimately, animal sidekicks are there for comic relief. I honestly think Louis has the biggest laugh of all these not-so-furry friends. Also, Ray has the most unique and nuanced personality and backstory of all of them, so I have to give this one to The Princess and the Frog. Round 4, the winner is The Princess and the Frog. So, the ultimate winner of this entire 4 rounds is... The Princess and the Frog. We at Hollywood Insider cannot wait to see all of the great princesses that are created by Disney to further empower young girls, little girls, and women all over the world. Our best wishes are with Disney.